Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm sitting in my office. I wanted to give you all an update because I feel bad. I ended up not being able to get the videos made for the 2 weeks that I was gone. Clearly, I got way too much sun. I don't even have any makeup on right now because I have spent the last, let's see, I started at around just before 1 o'clock. So just over the last 2.5 hours, having a huge argument with my normal computer, which is this old, it's a nice Mac, but it's old and it won't even update to like the newer versions of iOS. And today it decided to start freezing and turning off every time I'm trying to work on it and telling me that files don't exist. So I spent the last 2.5 hours trying to download a lot of information through iPhoto and through iTunes to get everything backed up onto this handy dandy little disk thing. And it's plugged into my little MacBook Air right now. They won't let me live stream on my phone because my account doesn't have that yet, I guess. But anyway, so I spent the last 2.5 hours doing that. And then I also got a call from my work. They are super desperate tonight for people to work. I'm a nurse. I work in the ER. And I guess the cold and flu season is really bad and all the scares with the coronavirus and such. So I'm actually going to go work a big chunk of a night shift, which I'm usually not a night shift person. So I need a quick nap. But I just wanted to give you guys an update because I feel bad, like I said, that I haven't been here for the last couple of weeks. Had a great trip though. Really missed the PCT and hiking. I kept trying to do hiking everywhere I was going. I was like, is there pretty waterfalls? Can we hike to something? Or if I saw a hummingbird, I was like, oh, hummingbird. So I will be working tonight, but I am off tomorrow. That means, so I have the foundation of the next video made. And so I will get that done. It'll take me a little bit longer, I think, on the MacBook Air. Maybe not. I'm not sure. So we'll see how that goes. It does have a lot of RAM, so I think it can handle it. But if there's anybody out there, I'll stay on for a few minutes, maybe answer some questions that I've gotten in the past. But if anybody wants to ask any questions, I know I didn't give an update that I was going to be going live. Hold on. I think my work just texted again. Somebody from my work, but about something else. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's about next Tuesday. Yeah. So I came to the US and things at work are crazy. I actually had to get clearance because I went to a foreign country. I actually had to get cleared by my employee health to come back, but I wasn't in one of the countries and I feel fine. I don't have a fever, no cough. Okay, so I'll just answer a couple of questions that I have gotten in the past. I think the biggest question that I get is, as a solo woman backpacker, hiker, do you feel safe? And I may have answered this kind of before, but as far as that question goes, yes, I do. I have been really lucky and I haven't had any issues with anything out there. Usually the people who are hiking on the PCT so far, cross your fingers, have been really great people because, like I said, I think in one of my videos, I mentioned like you can't be, or maybe it was on Instagram, you can't be an angry, bitter person when you're out in nature. It's really difficult to be like, oh, look, another beautiful mountain, another beautiful tree. Ugh. It just doesn't happen. It's like every time you go around a corner and you see something gorgeous, it just takes your breath away. And everybody's out there generally for the same thing, whether you're doing a brief section or you're doing a day hike or you're doing the whole thing or giant chunks. People are focused on enjoying the moment out there and the simplicity of what you need to get by, and that simplicity and that love of nature, and you sort of bond in this common bonding. And so I've always felt safe. As far as animals go, not too worried about bears. Like I bear bag, I've used bear cans. I don't cook and eat, in my tent. You will see me in some videos make coffee in the morning, but I'm packing up and leaving. So yeah, I try to be aware of the animals. The animals that actually bother me the most, that I would be worried about, and there's a few times where I've been alone and I know that I'm in like high density mountain lion areas. That's the only time there's been times in the evening where I sat alone. There's a hike coming up that you'll see probably in the next couple months that I did in the late fall. I was in the local mountains near Baden-Powell, and not on the opposite side, on the desert side, there's really not a lot of water. There's not a lot of food sources. So you do worry that mountain lions might be, especially at that time of year, a little more bold and brazen, especially if you're alone. So there was a time where one evening I was cooking, and the moment that I poured my bacon scented mashed potatoes into the pot, I was like, and now every animal in the area knows I'm here. So I was like, kept checking behind me. Yeah. So the mountain lions, I would say, are probably the thing that worries me the most. Because I have had bear encounters, and generally you just keep an eye on them, respect them, give them their space, let them know you're there. Hey, bear, 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 and they just kind of go off. I grew up backpacking, or not backpacking, but hiking, camping. My battery's going to go low. I'm going to take you, let's see, I'm going to plug you in. I grew up camping in the Sierra. Let me plug this in. And the place that we went every summer, there were a ton of bears. And I would actually see the bears at night when I would get up to go to the bathroom. And usually they would just leave you alone. And there even, we didn't keep things, coolers in the car, or food in the tent. My parents had like a motorhome, and they kept it in there. But anyway, like I said, the animals that scare me the most are probably the mountain lions, because they're very quiet and stealthy. And I know that in Orange County years ago, there were a couple of attacks. Specifically one that I know of. A person was on a mountain bike, and they look like, as someone said to me, if you're running, you look fun to a cat, so they're big cats. So that's the only thing that I think when I'm alone, that sometimes kind of spook me, but not bears, and really not people. I've really had no issues with people there's so many people out there that you're never really alone. It's very rare that I have been alone, as far as like where I've put my tent at night. Actually, the only time I've really been alone on the PCT is when I was hiking in the shoulder season in the fall, on the local PCT. That's the only time I've really ever been alone. Sometimes there's nights where I'm like, during the peak season, where I think I'm going to get a night alone, and then somebody comes, and you make friends, it's cool hearing everybody's stories. But I think, and then that kind of leads to like what tramilies are. And so they're groups of people who meet each other, and you look out for each other. And maybe you don't hike every step of the day during your hike together. But these people, maybe at the end of the day, you meet up with, or if you're in the Sierra and you're doing difficult stream crossings, you're going to bond with these people and stick together to do those things. But maybe you'll be hiking through a section, and you'll see them on and off, but they're the people that you really bond to and stick to, and people really look out for each other. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's see. What are some other questions? There's somebody at my neighbor's door. What do I do about food has been one question. I started out, and I think in the future, I'm going to make a video about how I prepare my food, because I've actually gotten it down to about a pound a day, roughly, maybe sometimes a little bit more, because I found really dense foods that have a high caloric. When I say dense, I mean high caloric content, and the most nutrition, and they can fill you up and give you energy for the lightest weight. I use a lot of freeze-dried foods. When I started out, I used a lot of the packages that you can buy, but they're really expensive. And then I would split them, because they're 2 servings, into bags. And I did a lot of testing with Ziploc bags. Somebody had asked about the Ziploc bags too. And I had found these like hefty freezer bags that could actually handle boiling water poured into them, and they didn't melt. Now, how good is that for you? Do they have, chemicals that are being released? I don't know. I do know that certain brands of Pre-made freeze-dried food gave me horrible gas. Didn't settle well with the digestive tract. Yeah. So, and their name even suggests, and I'm not going to say their name on the air, but their name suggests that you may have some mountainous air. Mountain House is good, by the way. They're not bad. There's a couple brands that I really like, and I'll probably go over some of those. I'll do a food video. But what I've actually started doing is experimenting with pre-made, or I bought a box of pre-made, like pre-hydrated vegetables to see how I'd like them. And I tested them out on a few trips. And I'll probably start dehydrating some of my own things, because I always get out there and I'm like, I feel like this quinoa seriously needs broccoli. And that's the thing you miss the most, I think, when you're on trail. One of the things is food, as far as food goes, is fresh foods. So fresh fruits and vegetables. So it'd be nice to be able to at least reconstitute. I hope the light in here is good enough. Let me try it on the other light. Maybe get some fill light going. See if that helps. Maybe. Okay, so being able to like maybe reconstitute some more fruits and vegetables that I like. But so I've been making, I'll make a pre-made package that has like freeze-dried beans and freeze-dried different vegetables in there. Like there's onion and tomato and carrot and green bean in them, and a little bit of potato or corn. And you make up these little, they have recipes, and you make up these little packets and you make a stew. And so I've mentioned before that like I'll cold soak during the day while I'm hiking in my little container, or cold soak overnight. So I've been making my own. I'll make a big bag of this oat mix that I love, that's got like almonds and apricots and cranberries and chia seeds and flax seeds and like just tons of stuff in there. And so I've been taking a lot of that. And then instead of having all these little packages per meal, the larger items like quinoa, mashed potatoes, and that stuff, they're in a one big Ziploc bag. And then I take out a serving of what I need, and I'm using that to cook my meal. And then I'm also not having waste every time. If you use the pre-made packages, expensive, 2 servings in a bag, unless you separate them like I was. Or now you have this little packaging that is trash that you have to carry out. And I always kept looking at that thinking, why does everybody want to carry like the coffee, little Via coffee packs or single serve coffee packs? Why? Get a good freeze-dried coffee that's an instant coffee, carry one bag with you, know exactly how much to scoop to put in your coffee cup, and you're not carrying all these little trash packets. And those add up in weight. And if you become a gram weenie, like I might have, just because I don't want my hips and knees to hurt. Those little things add up, and you think about it. Oh, somebody's joined me. Hi. So do you have any, is it, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Is it Josephus? Jose Fuss? I'm not sure. Do you have a question? I'll continue talking about the food thing until I hear. So my lighting in here is terrible. I think I may have to turn to the light a little bit. Okay. So as far as the food goes, I've gotten it down to about a pound a day with really dense, what I call cereal bars or nutrition bars. I carry the heaviest thing probably that individually that I carry are the tuna packets, which I love. You're getting good proteins, good fats, and then you can add those to your quinoa, your mashed potatoes, and then, like I said, the vegetables I put in there, or I carry the beans and I make a little stew. So I think one of the videos coming up, I will probably do that. Tomorrow's video, just because the computer situation is happening, I think I'm going to just stick to some more hiking that I have, and I kind of just line that up. So hopefully it'll be easy to deal with. And then if I have time tomorrow, I'll film a how-to. I'm thinking about sleep pads because I am the princess and the pea. I have bought and returned so many sleep pads to REI that they actually sent me a survey to ask me about the sleep pads. Yeah, I'm really bad. I would bring them home, throw them out on my bedroom floor, blow them up. Or if it was warm enough, I'd just throw my tent in the backyard if I didn't have something the next day to do in case I didn't sleep well. Throw it in the tent, throw it on the floor, sleeping bag, try it out for a night. And I would literally sometimes walk back into REI with it rolled up on the counter with the box and everything. And I'm like, no, different, not this one. I maybe take advantage of the REI policy. I don't know. But I do appreciate them. I really, really appreciate them. So I have one person live with me. Do you have any questions for me before I go? Because I am going to go and take a nap because I got called into work tonight. I don't know if you heard that part of the video. So if not, I guess I will check out if there was any new comments on videos while I was gone on my trip and try to get back to everybody. God, my lips are so chapped and horribly burnt from the sun. The tropics, it's just rough. I was like, sunscreen. Anyway, so I will check through that and get things updated. And then tomorrow, like I said, I'm going to get the video I was trying to work on today posted, and I will work on some how-to videos. I am going to be backpacking in the last days of March, beginning of April, over what technically is spring break. I will be doing Warner Springs to Idlewild if anybody's out there and wants to section hike or ask any questions about it. I'm not going to be like shy and be like, oh no, you don't know where I'm at. Hopefully just, keep it cool. Anyway, spacing out. This is why there's sometimes edits in my videos. Oh, yes. So I will be doing my food prep for that. So I will try to make a video of my food prep because that's coming up shortly. So I will get my supplies together and do a good, thorough food prep. I'll weigh everything, show you how I portion it out, how I package it, and the total weight for it. All right. So if there's no questions and no comments or anything, I'm going to go ahead and go. But remember, if you want to follow along, always like and subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I put out a new video, hopefully every Friday. We'll see. Technical difficulties, but I'll do the best I can. All right. See you soon.